everyone, at 1995 here in the video game fanfic plot with a new chapter for you all, in Attack on Prime. Remember, I do not own the Transformers Prime series or the Attack on Titan, and I give full credit to its author melishade on Wattpad and fanfiction.net. Now onto the story, soldiers. So you're the infamous Metal Titan, a voice said. Optimus held a large plaque of wood as he looked behind him to see two policemen on the rooftops across from him. Yes, Optimus answered as he set down the wood. You don't look as intimidating as people make you out to be, the female one remarked. It is simply out of fear that many demonize me, Optimus explained. Well, you did destroy half the city, the female retorted. Hitch, the male warned. I apologize for the damage I have caused, but the prisoner was trying to escape, and I had to take action, Optimus explained. Well, at least you did your job, unlike Annie, the female known as Hitch grumbled. Optimus slightly widened his optics as he continued searching for survivors. Was Annie part of the military police? He couldn't ask anything about her or they might get suspicious of him. He had to remain quiet and see where the conversation would lead. Why are you being so hard on her? The male demanded. She saw the Titans, you didn't. Doesn't mean she should skip out. Hitch retorted. It's been 3 days, Marlo. 3 days. So she was part of the military police, Optimus thought. If she is an enemy to mankind, she might have tried to gain information regarding the Wallist. It may sound crazy, but she did manage to keep her Titan shifting powers a secret for 3 years. And stop trying to defend her. You could barely even stand up for yourself with our superiors as they sold our weapons to the black market, Hitch reminded, causing Marlo to feel abashed. Why would your superiors sell your weapons? Optimus asked. Because they're a bunch of lazy, manipulating bastards, Hitch answered, before sighing, but I guess I'm like them too, since I joined the MP. And Marlo, don't say anything about changing the police. Optimus noticed Marlo slightly scowling as he looked away. I do not wish to interfere with your military or personal issues, but if you wish to change the acts of the military police, you must have a strong ideal and have the strength to move forward with your said ideal. Marlo looked in shock while Hitch looked with skepticism. If you do wish to change the military police, you must have a strong conviction for it. You cannot simply back down when someone tell you to, or run away like a coward. Others will simply think you are a hypocrite. You must be willing to risk what you have, your life, your family, your friends, your security, in order to make a change, Optimus explained. Wow. Marlo trailed off, thanks. Well, what do you know, Hitch began, a Titan knows more than you. Hitch, just stop, Marlo warned. As the two began to bicker, Optimus looked up at the wall to see a large cover over the hole. He looked up at the top of the wall to see Hanji with Pastor Nick and a few other soldiers with them. Hanji told him that the reconstruction of the wall would take place at night time, since the Titans gain motion through sunlight, but he felt like the citizens would question why there was a cover of the wall. Speaking of questions, Pastor Nick would no doubt be interrogated. He knew information regarding the wall that could even lead humanity to victory. But there was also the question regarding if Pastor Nick would even discuss the information. He could be loyal to the government, fear for his life, or even be coerced to keep the information secret. Optimus slightly shook his head. He shouldn't think about it. The Survey Corps will interrogate him soon enough. Optimus widened his optics as he saw Hanji grabbing Pastor Nick and holding him over the edge of the wall, ready to drop him to death. On second thought, soon may not come. Would you excuse me for a moment? Optimus asked before walking towards the wall. Hitch raised an eyebrow. What's with him? Hanji was mad. No, she was pissed. Pastor Nick, this lying son of a bitch squirming in her grasp, wouldn't even tell her anything about the wall just to save his own skin. Do you have any idea, you little shit? Hanji demanded. Hanji. Moblet yelled. You stay out of this. Hanji bellowed before looking back at Pastor Nick. Do you have any idea what we've been through? All those expeditions, Watching our comrades get eaten by titans, coming back empty-handed, all for the sake of trying to find a sliver of hope, to lead humanity out of this dire situation. And what do? You just sit back and watch us die like it's some kind of show. If you won't tell me the truth, then fine. I'll go find another member of your cult, then another, and another, until one of them chooses their life over loyalty and confesses. And you can just go die. Pastor Nick gritted his teeth and glared at Hanji. So what will it be? Hanji growled. Yes, now. Pastor Nick mumbled before letting go of Hanji's arm and raising them in the air. Now. Let go of me now. What? Hanji thought, slightly caught off guard. Your fury is understandable, Pastor Nick continued, but it's not like we did not say anything out of malice. And it's not like my life is that precious to me to cave in. I'll prove it to you. I have already lost my family while I drown myself in wine. I am an unworthy sinner who can only rely upon God in order to live. But if I do not talk, then none of my other followers will. We will never betray our loyalty to the king or our God. I'll prove it to you right now. Kill me. Hanji simply glared at the man. All right, I'll grant you your death wish. Hanji, stop it! Mobla yelled. Hanji watched as the pastor began crying and praying to some fake god. This man, coercing him into telling them the truth wouldn't work. He was too loyal to the cause, to whoever he was listening to. They needed to try a different method. Hanji looked down the wall and smirked. Let's give him a little scare. Bye. Hanji grinned before letting go of his robe. Pastor Nick screamed as he fell to his imminent death below. Hanji, what the hell? Mobla yelled. Give it a moment, Hanji casually said. Everyone heard a noise below the wall and looked down to see Pastor Nick knocked unconscious as he landed in Optimus' servo. Oh, thank God. A soldier sighed with relief. Optimus, right on time. Hanji waved. Hanji, what is the meaning of this? Optimus demanded. Just threatening, Hanji answered. I just needed to make sure that I was serious about taking his life. If I were not here, he would have been dead, Optimus retorted. Hanji, that was a brash and irresponsible decision. Do not do something that deleterious again. Do you understand? Hanji sighed. You suck the fun out of everything. Optimus just assumed that meant yes. I will take him to a safe location. Hanji simply waved him off as Optimus walked away from the wall. She let out a sigh of relief as she sat at the ledge of the wall. So there's probably more than one Titan in these walls, Hanji realized before chuckling. Wow, I never had this feeling in such a long time. I never felt so scared. Armin sat on the bed and was sleeping on it while Jean leaned against a dresser. So what do you think they're going to do about the wall? Jean asked. I don't know, Armin admitted. There's so many questions, I don't even know if we'll get any answers. Jean and Armin lifted their heads as someone knocked on the door. The two looked at each other in confusion as the person knocked on the door again. Jean stood up fully and walked towards the door. When he opened it, he widened his eyes in shock as he saw Optimus in his hollow form carrying an unconscious Pastor Nick on his back. What the? Jean asked in confusion. Optimus? Armin asked in surprise as he got up from the bed. Do you have a chair? Optimus asked. Jean moved out of the way, enabling Optimus to enter the room. Armin grabbed a chair against the wall and moved it towards Optimus. Optimus carefully moved Pastor Nick off of his back before balancing him in the chair. I hope he has not broken anything. Optimus spoke. What happened to him? Jean asked. Hanji tried to kill him by dropping him from the wall, Optimus explained. You're still mad at her, aren't you? Armin assumed. Very, Optimus answered. The three heard groaning and turned to see Pastor Nick slowly waking up. Where am I? Pastor Nick asked himself as he focused his vision on the three, mainly Optimus. You! Pastor Nick yelled before gripping his arm in pain. You shouldn't move around so much, Optimus advised. We do not know the extent of your injuries. Why should I listen to you, monster? Pastor Nick demanded. Jean growled as he stepped forward, ready to practically hurt the man, but Optimus put his hand in front of him. But Optimus. Jean, you must control yourself, Optimus informed, we have already talked about this. Jean took a deep breath and sighed. Sorry. Optimus lowered his hand and turned to Armin. Armin, I need your help with something. Will you come with me? Sure, Armin answered. Jean, I need you to stay with Pastor Nick and attend to his injuries, Optimus instructed. Got it, Jean nodded. Pastor Nick grimaced as he saw Optimus walk out of the room with Armin. Why? The Metal Titan was nothing more than a monster. Why were these children listening to him? Optimus, why are we down here? Armin asked as the two walked down the hallway of the underground prison. Miss Linhart was a part of the military police from what I have recently heard, Optimus explained. Do you know any of her beliefs? She thought the government was nothing more than a charlatan and that they use the people as pawns. Armin answered. Then we can use that to our advantage, Optimus proclaimed as they arrived at a cell. Armin widened his eyes as he saw Annie's condition. She looked terrible. Her hair was no longer in that messy bun. Her clothes were slightly tattered and the bottom of her feet were caked with dust. Her right hand was bandaged while her left arm was nothing more than a stub. Her arms and legs were chained while there was a muzzle over her mouth. Her eyes looked red and puffy as she lay on the ground with a pillow under her head. Was she crying? Armin thought as Optimus unlocked her cell. Optimus quietly beckoned for him to follow before quietly stepping in her cell. Miss Linhart, Optimus spoke. Annie slowly opened her red eyes and looked up to see Optimus. She slightly groaned as she pushed herself up into a sitting position. Armin, I need you to remove the muzzle, Optimus instructed as he sat down. Armin was about to ask why, but then realized that Annie was probably still scared of Optimus after what he did. Armin walked behind Annie as he carefully removed the muzzle, noticing how Annie tensed at the contact. Armin held onto the muzzle as he sat down next to Optimus. He widened his eyes as he saw Optimus pull out a loaf of bread from his jacket pocket. This was all I could get for you, Optimus said. Annie grimaced at the bread before slowly reaching for it. Armin noticed Annie hesitating before grabbing the bread and retracting her hand. I know I said I would not start interrogation, Optimus began, but there has been some complications and we require your assistance. You want information regarding the Titans, Annie assumed as she lifted the bread to her mouth. No, Optimus answered, causing Annie to stop as she almost bit down on the bread. I have overheard that you were part of the military police, Optimus proclaimed, is that correct? Annie nodded her head as she took a bite. Then I am assuming that you tried to find out information regarding the government and its secrets. Optimus said. Why come to me about this? Annie asked. The Survey Corps recently discovered about the Titans within the wall, and Wallace seem to know why, but they are not willing to tell us, Optimus answered. Since you and your comrades want the destruction of humanity, you would find more than one way of doing so. And you just expect me to tell you? Annie demanded, you're the reason that I'm here. Why should I help my enemy? Don't you hate the government? Armin spoke, I mean, I know that you hate us, but you've always talked about how twisted the government is. Annie looked away from the two of them with uncertainty. Miss Linhart, you may hate me, resent me, seek vengeance against me, but now our interests align, Optimus proclaimed. You want this government to fall, and we need answers regarding the Titans in the wall. If the government shows dishonesty and tries to attack us, we have no choice to fight. And how would I even benefit from this? Annie demanded. They may pardon some of your crimes, Armin answered, or maybe if there's some form of chaos, you could find a way to escape. Annie remained silent as she thought over the proposition. Please, Miss Linhart, Optimus begged. Annie sighed cholерically, what do I have left to lose? There's an illegitimate heir to a noble family known as the Rice family. They are the only other group of people beside the Wallaces who know about the Titans. An illegitimate heir? Armin thought in surprise. Where's the heir now? Optimus asked. Do you know his or her name? No, I don't, Annie answered, but I do know that she has an alias name and that she joined the military, the 104th Trainee Squad, and that she's in the Survey Corps. Our squad? Armin asked in shock. Is that all the information you know? Optimus asked. Annie nodded her head. Thank you, Optimus said as he stood up. Armin, we must go. Yes, sir, Armin said as he stood up as well. He put the muzzle back on Annie before they walked out her cell and locked it. A illegitimate heir? Armin asked Optimus as they walked towards his alt mode. Miss Linhart could also be giving us false information, Optimus retorted. I'm assuming the Wallace know this information as well, but unless I hear the same information from Pastor Nick's mouth, Miss Linhart is lying. We at least have to try and find her, Armin suggested. There may be a possibility that this woman is dead, Optimus said. Your trainee squad did fight in Trost. So even if we found out who it is, it wouldn't matter if she was dead, Armin said. Yes, Optimus answered. But why did you bring me to see Annie? Armin asked. Miss Linhart fears me, after what I have done to her. I thought bringing you would help mitigate the tension between us. And I also wish to speak with you alone about another situation, Optimus explained. About what? Armin asked. The identity of the colossal and armored Titan, Optimus answered. Armin looked at him with surprise. Wait, you know who it is? It is more of a speculation, Optimus admitted as they arrived at his alt mode. But why are you telling me? Armin asked. Shouldn't you be telling the commander or Miss Hanji? Commander Erwin and Miss Zoe were not there when Wall Maria fell, so neither of them know their appearance, Optimus explained. Also, they have not known them as long as you have, since you were a part of the 104th Trainee Squad as well. Armin looked in shock. Again? Optimus, are you sure? I told you it was a speculation, but I did find the records to find the information about them to be vague. Optimus answered. But. Armin, Optimus interrupted as he put a hand on his shoulder, I understand that you are still in disbelief about the situation, but you must realize that Miss Linhart may not be the only spy amongst you. There could be more, and the only two Titans that would be able to count as spies would be the Colossal and Armored Titan. Armin still seemed hesitant, but nodded his head. So then, who would it be? Optimus! A voice cried. Armin and Optimus turned to see Hanji running towards them in panic. Hanji, what is wrong? Optimus asked. First, are you still mad at me? Hanji breathed. Not as much, Optimus answered. Good. Walls gasps crystal. Hanji gasped as she pointed to the crystal in her hand. Nick gasps roses. Hanji, Optimus began as he put a hand on her shoulder. Relax and breathe. Hanji began to calm down as her breathing slowed. Now tell me what is happening, Optimus instructed. Hanji looked at Optimus with worry. Walrose has fallen. Connie looked in shock at the Titan that was on his house in shock and grief. His home was gone, and his parents were probably dead. What was going on? What was he supposed to do now? Men, we must move out. The superior yelled. Connie, let's go, Reiner advised as he put a hand on his shoulder. Connie sighed. Yeah. As Connie ran back to his horse and jumped on, he widened his eyes as he heard a voice say. Welcome back. Connie turned in horror as he saw the Titan looking at him with that creepy smile. Why? How did it talk to him? Connie. Reiner yelled as they began riding off. What the hell, man? Focus. That Titan just talked to me, Connie said in disbelief. That's impossible. Reiner retorted. Connie, you're just seeing things. But Connie, I get you're concerned, but we have to keep going. You're a soldier. You have to make the change here and now. Reiner declared. Connie began to stutter before sighing. All right, I'll keep going. Reiner quietly sighed with relief while Berthold looked at him with a worried expression. Sasha continued riding through the forest by herself as she made her way to her village. Home, Sasha thought. It's been 3 years since she's been here. Her friends, her father. Sasha mentally sighed. What her father think of her now? You do not need anyone else's approval. Sasha widened her eyes as she remembered her time in the Survey Corps before the expedition. Sasha managed to sneak into the kitchen and hide under the table. She lifted her head to see a bowl of freshly baked potatoes. She licked her lips in anticipation. All she had to do was grab the potato and run. She stretched out her hand. Just a bit more. What are you doing? A voice asked. Sasha screamed and jumped before looking to see a man at the door. Shit. I've been caught. Sasha gulped. Sasha, if I am correct, the man said. Wait, how did he know her name? Sasha asked herself. Wait a minute, that voice. And he's hollow. Sasha growled as she grabbed a knife and pointed it at him. Stay away from me. The man looked at Sasha in surprise. I'm not here to harm you. Sasha didn't listen as she threw the knife at the man. The man ducked as the blade pierced the wooden wall, and before Sasha dashed out of the room. Sasha was constantly on her toes the next day. Not only was she caught in the kitchen, but she was caught by the metal titan, no less. What if he ratted her out? What if he told the commander that she practically assaulted him? A part of her was reminding herself that he was a titan. He couldn't be hurt by a simple knife. Sasha widened her eyes. But she practically tried to kill one of humanity's last hope. She was so screwed. Sasha, are okay? Connie asked. Sasha jumped as she got into a ridiculous fighting stance. Whoa, calm down. Connie exclaimed as he put his hands up, it's me. Sasha took a deep breath as she lowered her hands and leg. Geez, what's gotten into you? Connie asked, it is because Prime's around? Huh? You get all jumpy when he's around, Connie explained. Hell, you hiss at him all the time. Sasha looked around to see if anyone was watching them. You want me to tell you? Yes. Connie answered, before yelling as Sasha pulled him into a huddle. First off, it's a titan, obviously, Sasha began. Secondly, that stupid form of his. What? The weird caravan? Connie asked. He has a human form, Sasha explained. Really? Connie asked in surprise. Beside the point, Sasha hissed, and there's a thing in his chest. Connie looked at her in confusion. A thing? Yes, a thing. Sasha exclaimed. Wouldn't that be where his heart is? Connie asked. Not that. Sasha yelled, there's just a thing. And it's extremely pure. Pure something. I don't know what and it bothers me. Connie deadpanned. Sasha, you need to chill. He seems like a good guy and he hasn't hurt anyone. But. Look, if he starts killing all of us, you can say I told you so. And now, just relax, Connie reassured as he walked off. Sasha was about to call out to him, but sighed. No one was listening to her again. Again. Sasha thought. She sighed with irritation. She needed to blow off some steam tonight. Sasha widened her eyes. Why was she thinking about that now? As she continued on the road towards her village, she widened her eyes in fear as she saw large footprints heading towards her village. No. They already made it here? Sasha exclaimed. They already made it this far? Sasha took a deep breath. Calm down. Panicking won't help you. Sasha arrived at the village as tied her horse to a small wooden fence. She heard low growling as she looked inside an open door in her house. She widened her eyes in shock as she saw a 3-meter class titan devouring a woman's leg. Sasha slowly walked inside the house as she grabbed the axe that was sitting on a stump of wood. As she stepped inside the house, she let out a battle cry as she began chopping off the nape of the neck. Blood was flying everywhere, but Titan didn't care as it continued eating its meal. It's not working, Sasha realized as she continued attacking. The nape keeps on regenerating. Damn that stupid 2-blade rule. Sasha gasped as the axe flew out of her hands and pierced the wall. Damn it! Sasha yelled, before turning to see a boy sitting quietly as the Titan continued with its meal. I have to get him out of here, Sasha thought as she walked over to him and grabbed his arm. The mother was a goner, she accepted that, but she might as well save the boy while the Titan was distracted. The two walked outside towards the tied horse as the Titan finally noticed a good meal walking away. What is your name, child? Sasha asked, only to get no response. It's going to be fine, Sasha reassured as she began to untie the horse. What is? The boy asked. Sasha began to stutter. I. Sasha gasped as the horse began whining and galloping from her grasp. Sasha yelled as the rope was pulled from her hand and the horse rode off without them. Wait! Come back! Sasha yelled as tears appeared in the corner of her eyes. Oh, you have to be joking. Please, wait. Why are you speaking so politely? The boy asked. Eh? Sasha exclaimed. Why was he asking that now? Sasha looked behind her to see the Titan stepping out of the house and walking. She began to panic as she looked around for any weapons that she could use. She ended up grabbing a bow and 4 sets of arrows. Come on. It shall be fine. We must go, Sasha said as she pulled the boy. Why? The boy asked. Everyone already ran away. No one came to help up. They knew my mother's leg was bad, but no one came to help us. And all I did was sit there as it happened. What? Sasha thought as another memory came into play. Sasha quietly ran towards the forest in the middle of the night. She remembered that there was a set of bow and arrows in the weapon room, so she managed to sneak out and grab it. She widened her eyes as she saw the metal Titan in his weird caravan form. Sasha noticed it didn't change into anything and realized the metal Titan was asleep. She glared at the caravan as she tiptoed her way safely into the forest. Sasha held her breath as she aimed her arrow at the bird. She was ready to let the arrow go, but she suddenly heard a twig snap behind her. She turned around and fired her arrow at a figure with glowing blue eyes. The figure barely dodged the arrow as Sasha pulled out another arrow and aimed it at him. What are you doing here, Metal Titan? Sasha demanded. Optimus pulled the arrow out of the tree as he stepped into the moonlight. I was awoken from my recharge and saw you walk into the forest. You're not supposed to be here at this hour. Why do you care? Sasha yelled, you shouldn't be here either. I understand that, Optimus explained, but... Leave me alone. Sasha yelled, I don't need your help. You're just another Titan that nobody trusts. I don't like you. I don't trust you. So back off. Sasha took a deep breath as Optimus looked at her in confusion. I was unaware that you had an accent, Optimus remarked. Accent? What? Sasha widened her eyes with worry. Shit. I don't know what accent you're talking about, Sasha said as she put her arrow in her holster. I'm going. Sasha. Back off, will ya? Sasha yelled before widening her eyes again, just leave me alone. But I find nothing wrong with your accent, Optimus said. Sasha widened her eyes in surprise. Really? No, Optimus answered, if anything, Minnie would be annoyed by my pontificating. Sasha slightly laughed. Yeah, I imagine. Wait. This does not change anything. I know it does not, Optimus explained, but it almost seems like you are ashamed of your accent. I'm not. But you seem to hide it from your friends, Optimus retorted. Sasha tried to speak, but simply kept on stuttering. Are you ashamed of yourself? Optimus asked. Sasha took a deep breath before sighing and slumping to the ground. Do you wish to discuss it? Optimus asked as he sat down next to her. Why should I tell ya? Sasha questioned. You do not have to, Optimus answered, but I do wish to help you in any way I can. Sasha took a deep breath. It's not because I'm ashamed, it's because I'm afraid. All my life, the only thing I knew how to do was hunt. It was my life, but now I'm in a place that I don't even know how it works. I'm afraid that people will reject me because of the way I act or where I'm from. I'm afraid of being rejected without proving myself. Sasha, that does not matter, Optimus said. Easy for you to say. Sasha shouted, you're some great and powerful leader that won a war. I was not always a leader, Optimus retorted, I used to be a librarian. Sasha gaped at him. You stared in a book all day? If you wish to state it like that, Optimus said. You sure you ain't screwing with me? Sasha questioned. No, Optimus answered, when I started the war, I did not know how to fight very well. I had to adapt to the battlefield in order to survive. Adaptation is natural, Sasha. You must simply give the process some time, but it is also not right to abandon who you truly are for acceptance. But they won't acknowledge me, Sasha retorted. Sasha, that is another issue. Optimus began, you are searching for other people's approval when you do not need to. I don't? Sasha asked. No, Optimus answered as he stood up and held his hand out to her. Sasha hesitated to take the hand, but then did so and Optimus pulled her to her feet. Do not look for others' approval to find your worth, Optimus explained, you must have confidence with yourself instead of searching for another's. Optimus opened her hand and put the arrow in her palm. Prove to yourself that you are capable of being a soldier with your strength. Why am I thinking about that now? Sasha thought as the two continued running, everyday life is trifling, but believe in yourself, huh? I'll try. Hey, she spoke to the kid, listen to me for a bit. It's gonna be okay, just run down this path. Even if you're weak, it's okay. There will be people that'll come to save you. You may not see that right away, but you'll find them. Just keep running until you do. Sasha pushed the boy away from her. Now go. The boy watched as Sasha took an arrow and aimed it at the Titan. Run. The boy widened his eyes before turning away and running for his life. Sasha then let the first arrow fly to get the Titan's attention. The arrow hit the Titan's neck, causing it to turn to her as she jumped onto higher ground. Sasha took a deep breath as she fired the next arrow. If she could blind the Titan, she could buy enough time for her and the boy to get to safety. The arrow hit the Titan's right eye as Sasha aimed her third arrow. Sasha took a deep breath. Just one more eye. As the Titan almost grabbed her, Sasha fired the arrow and rolled out of the way. Sasha smiled with relief as she saw the arrow in the Titan's left eye. The Titan searched for her blindly as she dashed into the forest. Good, now I just need to find my horse and the bow. Sasha gasped and stopped in her tracks as she looked to the direction of the wall. She slightly backed away as she clutched her chest in fear. What is that? Sasha questioned in fear, what is? Sasha suddenly heard galloping as she turned to see a group of people from her village riding on horses. She widened her eyes as she saw her father turn and look at her with surprise. Sasha! He exclaimed. Optimus drove next to the remainder of the Survey Corps and some of the military police as they made their way to the Hermia district in Sina. Hanji suggested that they show the aftermath of what the walls looked like after the invasion of the Titans. She was hoping that it would help Pastor Nick change his mind. Optimus shifted his side view mirror to see Pastor Nick slightly glaring at him. Looks like Pastor Nick wasn't going to change his mind about him. But it still bugged him. Why wouldn't Pastor Nick tell them this vital information? This could help save humanity from extinction. What's more important than saving the lives of thousands of others? Honestly, this whole situation was angering him by the second. It reminded him too much of the Council of Cybertron who refused to change the system for the better. Optimus, Hanji called out as she moved from her seat in the crate and moved to the opposite side of where he was. We're planning to send you out first as soon as possible. We want you to see if you can find the hole in the wall and prevent more Titans from coming through. Understood, Optimus said. All right, we're here. Levi said as they arrived at the gate. This is as far as Pastor Nick and I go. I'll catch up with you guys later on in battle. Erwin told me to wait for him while he brings reinforcements. Optimus quietly watched in his holoform with his arms crossed from afar as Levi kicked Pastor Nick towards the crowd. He heard footsteps behind him as he turned to see Ran walking up to him. Optimus, it doesn't make sense, Ran began. You are not being clear, Optimus admitted. Why, he's not saying anything. Ren yelled, I mean, what does he have to lose? He could help save humanity. Why won't he help? Ren, I understand that you do not know much of a situation like this, but you need to understand that this is not uncommon, Optimus explained. With the Decepticons, many would stay with the cause out of fear of their lives, sometimes to gain more power, maybe even to go to the side that has more of the chance of winning. So he's just going to let the Titans win? Ren retorted. Ren, they're just examples, Optimus answered, but I feel as though that Pastor Nick is not saying anything to us because he wants to remain loyal to his cause. Loyal? Ren questioned with uncertainty. Loyalty can be very rare with the enemy's cause, Optimus explained. Pastor Nick may be loyal because of the reward he is receiving within the cult, but the authorities may have saved his life in a way. That doesn't seem right, Ren admitted. My Kaza is loyal to you because you saved her life, Optimus retorted. Ren slightly groaned in defeat. But believe me when I say I am just as irritated about the situation as you are, Optimus commented. Ren noticed Optimus' hand clench in anger. Ren, I will be fine, Optimus reassured, but if he does say no, we are going to have a serious issue. Ren slightly sighed. He hoped that Pastor Nick would say something. Ren, Armin called out, come on, we got to get ready. Got it, Ren said as he walked over to them. Optimus saw Pastor Nick walked under the stable as Hanji approached him while Levi walked over to Optimus. Do you think he will change his mind? Optimus asked. Looks like it, Levi answered, had to beat the reality in his face. Do you think so? I am unsure, Optimus admitted. I'm sorry, but I can't tell you, Pastor Nick said solemnly. Optimus widened his eyes while Levi seemed to grow angry. Hanji groaned. Well, that's just fucking great. We bring you all the way out here and you still won't tell us dilly squat. Pastor Nick, there is a saying that I have learned from another world, even the Buddha loses its patience when tested a third time, Optimus proclaimed as he walked ominously towards Pastor Nick. Optimus, let's just calm down. I have been patient with you, Optimus began as Pastor Nick backed away, tolerating your insults, listening to your lies, watching as you preaching blasphemy and deception. You say you want to help humanity, but you will not even give vital information that could help these people regain their homes. Ren, Armin, and my cousin noticed the situation and grew concerned while Levi watched the situation with an unreadable expression. I do not have to be here, Optimus declared, I can just leave these walls to find a way to my world, or just have never come here in the first place, but I chose to fight for humanity because I believed that it was right. Pastor Nick began stuttering as he bumped into a support beam. You claim that I am a monster, but all I have done was help the Survey Corps. I gave them information about my technology, biology, anatomy, and history. I have not even considered harming any of them. I stopped Miss Linhart from escaping from the walls, and I even saved your life, which under careful consideration at this point, I should have let you perish. Optimus, please. Answer me this, Pastor Nick, Optimus continued while interrupting Hanji. Am I really the monster, the one who has been risking my life to protect a race I barely know? Or it is you, the one who preaches blasphemy and watches his expendable soldiers die like it is some slagging puppet show? Okay. Enough. Hanji yelled as she got in between the two. Optimus, I get you're mad. Everyone is mad. We'll just find someone else. There is an illegitimate heir to a noble family known as the Rice. They are the only group of people that know about the Titans within the wall. Optimus cut off. Armin gulped as Ren's mouth slightly dropped. Mikaza and Levi widened their eyes while Hanji gaped at him. Eh? Hanji questioned. No, Pastor Nick gasped, how do you get that information? Everyone's expressions widened even further while Armin tried to stay as calm as possible. The one thing the Annie Lenhart hates more than me is your twisted government society, Optimus answered. As the saying goes, the enemy of enemy is my friend. Wait, who's the heir? Hanji asked, Where's he now? Miss Linhart stated that she was in the 104th Squad Regiment and that she also joined the Survey Corps, Optimus informed. Wait, she's on the front lines? Hanji gasped. Now, Pastor Nick, if I should even call you that at this point, Optimus said, either you tell us what her alias name, or I may just let Hanji kill you this time. Wait, are you serious? Hanji asked in disbelief. Her name is Krista Lenz. Pastor Nick blurted out. Who? Levi questioned. No way, Rand spoke, her of all people? We need to go now, Mikaza declared as they ran to the horses. Wait, I don't know all of the names of the new recruits, so who is she? Hanji asked. She's the most petite girl, Ran explained, she's small and she hang out with Ymir all the time. Hanji slightly gasped while Levi widened his eyes. Ymir? Hanji yelled. Ymir rode her horse next to Krista as they made their way through Walrose with their superiors. Ymir was a bit mad at how their superiors were restricting them, but she had no choice but to listen. Ymir, if you're concerned about my safety then I need you to stop, Krista said, I joined the scouts for a reason. And besides, you didn't join them because you wanted to. What? Are you implying that I joined for your sake? Ymir demanded. If I wasn't here then you would escape, right? Krista asked as stairs began to form. Just run, no one's stopping you. Ymir didn't say anything as they continued onward. I don't have the strength to be in the top 10. I know that, just ask anyone else and they would agree, Krista explained. You told me to join the military police, and you wanted to join them so much, but you still could have joined the garrison, so why did you follow me? Is it because of my family? Yeah, that's right, Ymir smirked, but rest assured Krista, I'm here for my own sake. Krista didn't say anything as they continued riding on. Well, that's the ending of that chapter. I do hope you enjoy this video. If you like to see more, remember to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel and leave a comment down below. Until next time.